All right. All right, welcome everybody to the BJ Murphy Show. We have author and creator Tracy Wilkins Francis on the line. She's the author of a great book, a children's book series. JoJo Bean is the main character. She also owns Annie Jean Publishing. And she's just doing a lot of incredible things right now for the youth. And we have her right now on the line. She's live from New York. How you doing this evening, Tracy?
I am doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's always great to talk to entrepreneurs on the line who are doing innovative things, people that are following their passions, their dreams. And your mission in life is to, brighten up the lives of children all over the country. Talk about the inspiration for JoJo Bean.
Well, the inspiration of JoJo Bean, I guess the whole creation came a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. My husband and I were on a trip with our son, who was about 2 at the time. And, we were still, I guess, relatively new parents. He's the only child, so we had these grandiose ideas about how a vacation would be.
Right.
Well, Joseph wasn't cooperating, and the vacation was horrible. We flew into Atlanta, and then we drove to St. Simon Island. We had all these big things, but Joseph was not cooperating. He was not happy. We were stuck in the car for 5 hours, and he got lost. And so I think he was watching a videotape over and over again and singing the same song over and over again. And my husband said, one day we're going to find this funny. And I said, well, it's not funny now.
Right.
So then he said, well, one day you're going to write about this. I said, we'll see. We'll see about it. And then I think probably about a couple of years later, we were in Manhattan going to see the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center, and the subject came up again. He's like, you always wanted to write. You should start writing a book. What about what we talked about a few years ago, based around Joseph? I said, okay, I'll see. So then one day I just sat down and started writing, and the series was born from there.
Wow. And how many years ago was that again?
That was, the writing process probably was 2 years ago.
Wow.
And we started the illustration process last year. So it took probably a total, if you think about from creation to now, about, 3 years. Wow. 3 years from start to finish.
So the JoJo Bean character is based off of your young son, and his name is Joseph.
Yes, his name is Joseph, a.k.a. JoJo Bean.
Right.
JoJo Bean is a very precocious, curious, and colorful character like our son. Yeah. And he likes to celebrate life. He likes to figure things out for himself, but when he figures things out for himself, it's not always the best decisions that he makes. And sometimes he gets his friends and himself into some crazy predicaments. But in the end, he always figures it out, just like our son.
Right. Well, that's awesome. You got some great characters as well. I was looking at some of the characters. Twisty.
Yes. She's a culmination of several of my son's friends. Okay. She's kind of quirky, a girly girl in some sense, but yet still wants to, do some of the things that the boys want to do. And she marches to the beat of her own drum.
Right. Now, when I was going through the website, I was looking at the actual caricatures, the characters that you have, like, they have the costumes. And I mean, that's really, you put a lot into this because this really it's very, professional. I mean, it's on another level.
Thank you.
Of creativity.
Yes, we wanted to, we used 3 illustrators actually on the book. I sat down with them and I told them exactly what I wanted. So JoJo Bean is actually based on the pictures of my son. If you look at the pictures of my son and you look at JoJo Bean, they look exactly alike.
Yeah, right.
And the other 2 characters, Twisty Tina and Worry Wendell, they're a combination, even the caricature-wise, of several of my son's friends. So we kind of sat there and hashed, well, what did I want her hair to look like? What did I want, where we wanted those eyes to look like? We wanted to keep some of the features uniform, like the eyes and the mouth, but still having those distinguished features for each of them. And it was actually my husband's idea to go from creating the illustrations to the actual mascots, because we wanted the book to stand out from any other children's books, and what better way for the book to stand out is to have live mascots.
That's right. And this is awesome because we need so much more positive, characters out there for our young people in today's society. I mean, it's just crazy.
We do.
I mean, you have a wholesome character, a young black child that's positive, full of energy, being positive. We need that, and I just commend you for doing that. Well, let me ask you, doing publishing, and you're really starting from scratch. You don't have any formal education of being a writer or in publishing, do you?
No, I don't. I actually had a passion for writing when I was a little child. I used to, myself and a couple of my friends, we would actually, sit down at my house or outside or in the schoolyard, and we would write these books. And after we were finished writing these books, I would always tie a little red ribbon around it. So throughout high school, a lot of people thought that I was actually going to go to either dance, because that's another passion of mine. I'm a former dance studio owner. I owned a dance studio for 12 years. Wow. Or journalism. And my mom was upset because I didn't go into journalism at all, nor did I go into dance. I majored in economics. So although I didn't have the education, so the skill level was always there. I mean, even after graduating from college and going on to the various jobs I had, all my jobs were in finance. You have to write well in order to be in the finance area. Yeah. So that's what happened. But no, I don't have a formal background in publishing.
Right. Well,
so there was Right. There was a learning curve there, but it's you learn as you go, you research, you talk to people. So it was a great experience because I'm always one of those people who always want to learn new things and do new things. I get bored very easily.
That's right. So we're talking with Tracy Wilkins, and of course, the name of her book series is The Real Life Adventures of JoJo Being, and you can go to the website. It's AnnieJeanPublishing.com, AnnieJeanPublishing.com. I got to ask you, who is Annie Jean?
Okay, so Annie Jean came from my paternal grandmother and my maternal grandmother. My maternal grandmother's middle name was Jean, and my paternal grandmother's first name was Annie, so I just put the two together.
Okay.
That's tribute to them.
That's right. Now, during our interview, I noticed you mentioned your husband, Michael Francis.
Yes.
Of course, Tracy Wilkins Francis is on the line with us, and we're talking about her great children's book series, The Real Adventures of JoJo Bean, and how much of an inspiration, I know he's been an inspiration, but having a spouse to really push you in the direction of your passion has to mean a lot to you. I know a lot of women that will be listening would like to hear that kind of relationship, that part of your relationship. Just talk about that for a moment.
Okay. Well, it helps a lot. My husband, he's my best friend. He pushes me even though I may not be able to see the vision or the future. He was there, from day one, from the moment we talked about doing the book, or actually it was his idea to the book in the first place, all the way through now. In fact, sometimes he drives me crazy because he's like 50 steps ahead of myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, can we go back to step one? But that's only because he's so passionate, he loves me, and he loves, what we can accomplish together as a couple, and that's a great thing.
That's awesome. I love that. Now, right now you got the Children's Summer Camp Writing Workshop going on, and that started. Actually, it's going to start on the 17th. Right,
Friday. I'm really excited about that. ages 6 to 10, and it's actually through one of the local daycare centers that has a camp. We did a reading for them probably a few months back, and the assistant director called me and said, well, we're having this writing camp, and I would love for you to come and teach writing, creative writing to the children. So that's how that transpired. And I'm really looking forward to it because, the talent starts when you're young. You need to feed that talent in order for it to grow. There's so many children that are talented out there, but they might not have the resources, and they might not even have the parents to back them. But if there's just that one adult that to say you can do it and to help feed their talent, then they could go far in life.
So the real adventures of JoJo Bean, what kind of person is your son? How do you think what direction is he going into?
He's in so many directions. He's done so much in his 5 years on Earth. He's just like the JoJo Bean characters. He's curious, he's busy, he's intelligent, he's smart, he's energetic. He doesn't do it anymore, but he was modeling since he was 5 months old, and he's appeared in Target, Parents Magazine, Children's Place, all that stuff. He's done a couple of independent films as an extra. He's, of course, in the music video that we did for the Real Life Adventures of JoJo Bean. He's an orange belt in karate. He swims very well, and he does gymnastics, and he loves to read. Thank God for that.
Yeah, you got to read. You got to read about itself on these books.
Yeah.
So Tracy Wilkins Francis is joining us right here on the BJ Murphy Show. The Real Life Adventures of JoJo Bean is the book, and of course, as an African American female, and that our young males don't have a lot of positive role models out there. Thank God he has your son has a wonderful example, and your husband, Michael, and other, children have examples in their lives. But talk about the critical piece right now in Black America where if we don't get these positive images out there in front of our children, what the consequences are going to be.
We're going to be in trouble. I can just say we're going to be in trouble. I actually, my day job, I work for my town school district, and I've been there for 9 years. And I see it every day when I walk through the halls, and the parents come in with a sad story, or the parents come in upset and frustrated. And most of the time, the parents, and not to say there's anything wrong with that, but a lot of the times there's not a father figure in the house or a positive male role model in the house at all, which is very important, especially in the Black family. You need that strong male role model because if they're not getting that positive enforcement from that role model, then they're going to look to the streets.
Yeah.
They're going to look to their friend who might not necessarily be the best role model for them to look to.
That's right.
So, there's a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, I think, in the Black community. So we just need to do our part, whether it's writing positive songs, mentoring children, positive role models, positive books, whatever that might be. We all have a part, and we can do our part.
That's right.
To help, to let the Black children know is yes, you can do it too. Yes, there are Black people out there doing positive things, and you can do it too.
That's right. The Real Life Adventures of JoJo Bean. You got some more books coming in the series. I was looking at the website. Delectable Vegetables, Safety First, Park Blues, and The Christmas Coat.
Yeah.
So when is that 2016?
Yes, the Delectable Vegetables, we're actually going to start working on, let me put it this way, they're all written already. So now we just have to put together the illustrations. So we're going to start putting together the illustrations for Delectable Vegetables this fall, and hopefully it'll be ready by early next year.
Okay. Let me ask you,
my goal is really to
I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, no, my goal is, that's okay. My goal is really to release at least one or two of the books in the series a year.
Okay. Tracy, do you think this market is still wide open for African American children's books? This genre is wide open?
It definitely
for other people
is.
to jump in? Okay.
Definitely. There was a study, and I wish I could remember where it was done. I want to say the University of Wisconsin, where they talked about the number of African American authors that were released, I think, back in 2013. And I remember, I think it was under, I want to say, I know it's definitely under 10%. It might have even been 3 or 5%. Which is really sad considering, the number of children's books that are released. I think out of 3,000 or something. And you figure it's 5%, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
So definitely the market is wide open. It's just a matter of getting it, not only getting out there doing it, but also just making sure that the book is appealing, I think, not only to African Americans, but everybody.
Yeah. I think your illustrators did an excellent job in forming the characters. And I was then you had two black men behind that, one your illustrator and the other with the theme music. So
yes, Nate Stallworth. Right. Malachi Jackson is one of the illustrators. He used to live in our hometown, but now he's in upstate New York. He's one of the illustrators on the book. And the musical producer is Nate Stallworth. He's worked with people like Alicia Keys. He's worked with, I want to say Grandmaster Flash. He's worked with a few of the people that I can't think of now, but he's worked with a lot of big name people. And actually, my husband is the one who wrote all the songs for the JoJo Bean series.
Wow. Wow, he's all in this thing.
He's all in this thing, and he has his own project that he's doing as well. He's not only a lyricist, but he writes and directs and produces movies and films.
Wow.
And we just came back from West Virginia because he and his business partner / friend, Eric Higgins Richardson, have been working on a movie about John Henry. The real story, not the Disney story of John Henry. No offense to Disney. But his friend Eric had a fascination with railroads because his great-grandfather worked for the railroad. And then he became fascinated with John Henry, just learning all about him, who he really was. Did he really exist? Is he a myth? Is he real? What about his family? What about the people who worked on him with the railroad? So he wrote a script for it, and then in 2012, it was accepted. It was shown, it won an award, one of the two, in the Hollywood Film Festival. And last year, they went to California to shop it to see if they could find a deal, and they found a few people who were interested, and it's actually growing from there. So this film is going to be shot pre-production or in the pre-production phase, and it should be released next summer this time. I had a role in the trailer. My husband is playing John Henry.
Okay.
He had to lose over 100 pounds, so he went from 316 pounds to 100 pounds. He just finished 2 bodybuilding competitions, which he placed second and third in.
Okay,
and
now hold on.
We're really busy with that.
Okay, so he went from 316 pounds, and he lost 100 pounds? Oh, my God.
He lost 100 pounds in a year, with the help of Ryan Sullivan at Unison Fitness, which is right out of here in Long Island.
Man, that's hot.
To transform himself for the role, yes.
Well, you guys
so he's playing John Henry, and I was playing his wife, yes.